A few months ago, I wrote a piece about the 8Ps. This is a framework I've been using and evolving for maybe 20 years, and it's one of the chapters in my book, Outthink the Competition. You've got these 8Ps: positioning, product, pricing, placement, promotion, physical experience, processes, and people. And it was one of my more popular posts and it attracted a lot of attention. It attracted attention from someone who messaged me on LinkedIn, and he asked, why isn't purpose one of the Ps? And I want to thank that person. His question really hit me hard. At first, I got defensive, trying to rationalize why purpose was not really part of your business model. And then I started kicking myself for not including it from the very beginning. Eventually, I got over myself and actually sat down with the question. Why wasn't the 8Ps 9Ps? Was the oversight just mine? I've since updated my keynotes, my workshops, my workbooks, and I'm feeling complete about that. But still, the question remains, was the oversight just mine? And I think it wasn't. And this is why. The purpose of purpose has changed. And the reason for this change is not only because we, as a society, have become more enlightened or more selfless, but because technology has evolved what is possible. In the 1920s, strategy primarily focused on predicting cycles. In the 1950s, strategy shifted towards selecting industries to compete in. In the 1970s and 80s, strategy was all about the competition, beating, winning, and the scoreboard was market share. In the 1990s, this focus shifted towards customers. To beat the competition, just ignore them and just delight your customers. But what we are experiencing today is the next shift, a rebalancing from the customer to a recognition that there are other players in your ecosystem that matter, particularly your employees are the next customer, your suppliers are the next customer, and your complementary products are also the next customer. Let me explain mathematically why this is the case, and then let's take a look at the implications on a company's purpose. And note, when I say purpose, I'm using the term loosely here. I mean a variety of statements that communicate to the world why a company or a brand exists. That could be your mission or your vision or your purpose or your why, your big, hairy, audacious goal, your painted future, your brand purchase, even sometimes your core values and your culture. And I know all of those things are different, and we could parse them out and outline how each is different from each other. And I know many people can justifiably really get passionate about those differences. But for the point I want to make here, such distinctions are not needed. So let's take all of that and all those kinds of things and just bundle them together into one thing we're going to call purpose. So first, why are we shifting from customer centricity to ecosystem centricity? It has to do with coordination costs. With very few exceptions, customers don't buy your product or service on its own. They use your product or service to get a job done, but that job also requires using other things to get a bigger job done. Sure, they hire your hair salon to get a haircut, but they want that haircut. Why? Maybe to have a good interview to get a new job, or to have a productive Saturday running errands, getting a bunch of stuff done so that they can relax with their family on Sunday, or to get the social value of looking good for a wedding that evening. They buy and use your refrigerator to keep food cool, yes, but that refrigerator is a player in several larger plays: to get out of the house in the morning on time, for example, to create a community by having neighbors over for a party. You need your refrigerator. To give their children a healthy foundation in life with good nutrition and an emotional balance with years of healthy breakfasts and lunches and dinners with family. They need a refrigerator. To get these higher order jobs done, they coordinate your product with other products. For example, let's look at getting out of the house in time in the morning. They need your refrigerator, yes, but what else do they need? They need milk, they need cereal, they need bowls. They probably use a coffee maker and their closet to get dressed. They have a shower, they need soap, they need shampoo, they need a car, they need the key to the car, they need the gate remote, they need an alarm system. For those 60 minutes each morning, they use a bunch of products and services, all in service of this bigger job to get done of getting out of the house in time. And each of those products and services they had previously selected from a bunch of options. They've weighed the costs and benefits. They purchased, they installed them in their house. Throughout history, we have let people assemble their own combinations of products and services rather than doing it for them because that was simply far more economical and it allowed for greater personalization. So let's say a refrigerator company, if it tried to bundle their specific refrigerator with a specific coffee maker, bottle of milk, brand of cereal, shampoo, car, and front gate opener, just doesn't make sense. Think about the work that would go into setting up commercial arrangements with all of those different providers of all those different products and services, and think about how inefficient it would be to market that specific bundle to the one customer maybe that wants that particular combination of refrigerator, coffee maker, and car. It is far more efficient to let users do the work of assembling the combination of products that they want to get the job done. But the economics are starting to change. I just got back from China where I attended a conference with a company called Haier that makes refrigerators along with every other type of appliance and a bunch of other things. They own GE appliances, for example. Now, they were sharing that they are starting to shift their language from products to scenarios. And I think the word scenarios is a concept that's closely related to jobs to be done. One scenario might be getting out of the house in time in the morning. Another might be having neighbors over for a party. Another might be family dinner. In each scenario, the refrigerator, in our example, is used in coordination with different sets of other products and services. The reason that we should start thinking about scenarios rather than products is that the cost of coordinating with other products that our users use is coming down, thanks mostly to digitization. Now, I'm not just talking about the fact that our products are increasingly communicating with other products in smart spaces, smart homes, smart offices, smart schools. What I came away from this conference in China with was that it is really about the fact that the companies that make those products and services can coordinate more efficiently now than they could before, and that efficiency is only going to accelerate. They can share information about inventory levels, about customers, purchase orders, shipping times, payments between these companies are facilitated. There is more information, and that information can be shared more easily across the entire supply chain. The friction of setting up partnerships between companies is coming down. We used to offload the coordinating of the use of products and services to the user because that was a more efficient approach. But slowly, and really, we're only at the very early stages of this, we're seeing it become more economical for the producers of those products and services to coordinate among themselves rather than making our customers do the work. In other words, transaction costs are coming down, reducing the friction of complementary products and services, coordinating with each other, inching us towards an ecosystem era. Let's say a realtor helps a young couple with a new baby buy their first home. That realtor could offer the couple a young family experience. Maybe that comes with just the right refrigerator, the right coffee pot, internet service, alarm system, weekly cleaning service, electricity service, other utilities, and a subscription to the meal plan designed specifically for 2 adults and a young child. These providers could even coordinate themselves to offer that couple one monthly payment for the bundle and everything they want. Now, some customers will want to make all of those decisions themselves, sure, and they can. But I can tell you that I, having moved 3 times with my wife and 3 children, I would have loved, especially in the early years, I would have loved to have all of those things come in one package. I would love to just pay one monthly bill for all of that. I would love to buy a home that works for my family rather than spending my Sundays going through bills and checking the pantry and ordering coffee and milk. So what does this have to do with purpose? Well, the purpose of purpose in this ecosystem economy changes because your purpose needs to now resonate with more stakeholders. Let's look at Microsoft as an example. And I'm just picking on Microsoft here, but we could use a dozen other companies that have been around as long as Microsoft to make the point. Under Bill Gates, its original purpose was to put a computer on every desk and in every home. Under Steve Ballmer, the purpose evolved to, I think this is a little bit too long, create a family of devices and services for individuals and businesses that empower people around the globe at home, at work, and on the go for activities they value most. Now, under Satya Nadella, the mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Do you see how the scope of the audience that each of these different versions of the mission speaks to expands? First, in my opinion, they are really talking to shareholders and employees who get motivated by the payoff and challenge of getting a computer on every desk. Then, creating a family of devices and services, they start appealing to customers because you are sort of enveloping them with these interconnected things to get stuff done. And then, to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more, it starts speaking not just to every person, but also to all the organizations who benefit from everyone achieving more. Now, schools and governments and countries also see themselves in that mission. This is not unlike Ajay Banga, the former CEO of MasterCard, who shared with us on the Outthinkers podcast that one key to him raising MasterCard's stock price from $25 a share to $350 a share was aligning the company around the purpose of creating a world beyond cash. That activated ecosystem partners to want to create that future together. The purpose of purpose used to be to motivate employees and often indirectly signal to investors that they would also make money. The purpose of purpose evolved, I would say, in the 1990s to include customers who want to buy from brands that they trust and they believed were pursuing futures they cared about. But now, the purpose of purpose must include complementary ecosystem partners and build in them the trust that you are after a common goal so that they are motivated to join forces with you. Now, I'm not saying that I left out purpose from the 8 Ps, now the 9 Ps model, because purpose was not important before. I should have included it. But back then, it was something that was more a true because you say it's true kind of thing. It was a statement that clarified your collective reasoning for being out there working to make things happen. As long as it gave meaning and motivation to us and our employees, our troops, it served its purpose. So it was less of a strategic choice, let's say. But now, because the purpose of purpose is also to create trust and cooperation with ecosystem partners, with complementary providers of products and services, it becomes a different animal. It must still be deeply authentic and true. It would be a mistake to make it a marketing slogan. But it also is not enough to develop a purpose that makes you and your people wake up in the morning. It has to also work for your customers and your partners. It has to be strategically chosen. So in summary, what I'm saying is that the purpose of purpose has changed. It's evolved because technology has reduced coordination cost, thrusting us toward an ecosystem economy and thereby expanding the audience that our purpose should be relevant to. It's time to rethink your purpose.